Hello. So, welcome to episode 6 of Lost in Immersion, your weekly 45-minute stream about innovation. As VR and AR veterans, we will discuss the latest news of the immersive industry. Let's go. Just one point to do a little follow up regarding what we discussed last week. Here we are. Uh, Sorry for this. So yeah, I found this on LinkedIn. This is Brendan Spiegel, a specialist in VR in the healthcare field, and he showed this little graph showing the occurrence of the words virtual reality uh, in scientific papers through the years, and we can see that in 2023 there are like 3,000 and plus VR mentioned in the healthcare scientific papers, which I think is a good thing regarding what we discussed last week about VR and healthcare. So, if you want to add something about this, are you surprised or do you think this is what we discussed?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing indeed. I'm would be curious to know a bit more like about the topics maybe and where or why we are seeing this more and more. But yeah, I think it's a good sign.
It's great that they start to use this technology because I really think that it can help for a lot of, or it seems to help for a lot of different things.
Yeah. So was just for the introduction. You can present your topics now, Fabien, please.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So what I want to talk about this week with you guys is Apple and maybe potential headset that is supposed to be released this year. So we know now that the Apple Developer Conference will be held early June, the 5th. So the hype is growing, and a lot of people think that the headset will be potentially released, at least announced or previewed. We don't know during this conference. But at the same time, there are a lot of analysts that start to be skeptical of this headset, at least of the success of this headset, because of the price. It's rumored to be around 3K USD, which is quite expensive, and the multiple delays that they seem to face, um, and also like the general public acceptance of having and using VR headset. So yeah, I think there are both at the same time a growing hype and growing concerns um, about this headset. And something that on top of that, something that I found an idea that I think is interesting for them to have a real difference between all the other um, headsets. So there are like technical things that they could do, and there are also software experiences that they could offer. And we know Apple because of its ecosystem of apps as well on iOS and on Mac as well. So I was wondering, is there a way that they could translate this concept of apps, but for mixed reality, like an app for your home that you can control from your headset, an app for um, a kind of you can install apps in the real world. Like you could install an app on your home. You could install an app or your garden, so you can monitor the garden. You know, this kind of experience. I think there are a lot of still a lot of technical issue with that, but I was thinking it's a good idea, and maybe they will do that. So yeah, that's the two ideas that I wanted to share, and I'm curious to hear what you think. Let's start with you, Guillaume, maybe.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I have a lot to say about this. I'm sorry. So first of all, did you see the leak about the technical specification of the headset? They are talking about carbon fiber for the headsets itself, for the weight. It would be 4K per eye. The battery would be on the hip. You can't use your prescription glasses with it, which I think it's kind of bother.
Mhm.
Um, and as you said, one thing Apple is not known for is game. They are very bad at gaming, and I think that the very interesting part with these glasses is that what will they propose as an application for these, as it won't be game, of course. So they are talking about something called co-presence, which would be like enable Teams or Zoom for you to speak with people through 3D avatars. So don't know what we we can think about this. And there would be a 3D creation application, something like the HoloLens presented back in the days when you can put some AR objects in front of you in AR. You can edit film as well using your hand motion. So they are mimicking um, the movie. Uh,
Minority Report.
yeah, Minority Report, but we know that editing a full movie with your hand, you will be tired before finishing your editing, but why not? Confirmed price of 3K, you said it. And one thing that I found interesting, there will be like a throttle, little wheel that you can turn from one side to another to phase from the real to the virtual world. So maybe they are doing what I thought. This is meaning that their headset will be doing VR and AR as the VR headset, the VR Vena they bought like 7 years ago. And I had some internal leak as well, saying that they won't present the headset on June, but on August for public release. You could buy the headset before the end of the year, so it should be released September or October this year, because they have some internal issue and they don't think they are ready yet. And as they said, they want to do the iPhone effect, uh, which could be very difficult. Regarding the economic situation, people won't have kind of money to spend in this kind of headset, and this is one thing that they found out with the PSVR2 as well. They are
Mm.
selling as not as good as they wanted to
Yeah.
be, and the thing is because of the economic situation, people can't afford to spend 600 or even more at 3k for entertainment. So sorry for this long speech, but you can give your opinion about this, Seb, please.
Sure. I think we talk about that, but I think their goal is to replace your Mac with it. So I guess Xcode and all their main app will be ported to these headsets right from the beginning. So you can code directly on the headset and forget about buying a Mac. So the price get back is more acceptable for user if you really replace a complete Mac that costs around the same price. Then can make sense, and also you can bring it wherever you want. So maybe in a smaller form factor than your Mac itself. So yeah, that could be their goal in targeting the public instead of what the other do and targeting the pro consumer. Um, and if that's the case, then yeah, and if it works perfectly and really replace your screen, your keyboard, your Mac, then it could make sense to pay that price. And so I guess that's their challenge. That's what they need to target if they want to sell it to the public. And I want to bounce on what you said, Guillaume. They have a wheel to switch from AR to VR.
Yeah, you
Does it
can
mean
fade. Yeah,
does it mean they activate the camera, or because they are still using camera to film the
yeah, it's a
environment, right?
video see-through technology.
Okay.
I don't think there are so much surprise about this. They are doing exactly like the Vario headsets, but they have this wheel. And I talked to
Mm.
uh, the the CEO of VR Vena, and he told me that when they bought his company, this is the first thing that they patented. This kind of wheel to phase from the reality to the full virtual one. And for having tested it, I think this is a very nice idea.
Why? Because you can really fade the real to the
Yeah,
environment.
you can be like half through AR, through VR, and it gives you a very smooth way of phasing from one side to another. And when you are doing AR and you want to switch to VR, you just have to switch it, to turn
Okay.
the wheel, and then you are full VR and you come back. So you don't have to take off the headsets at any time, and it's very comfortable as a sensation.
Okay. It's weird to me because the way Oculus did it with the two tap on the side
Mm.
on the microphone, that triggered the switch to the real view, was for me the most practical because you don't have to turn something. It's really quick. If you
Well, I
hear a
don't know
noise,
how they will use it, but the effect is very cool.
mm,
This control of the phasing through VR AR is very cool, and
mm,
it matched the Apple philosophy of UI. Uh, the tapping stuff is not as I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, this is
Yeah,
a kind of
it's
motion, and it really links to what you want to do.
yeah, it's similar to the wheel that is on the Apple Watch, I think.
Mm.
So, mm.
okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
guess.
so just one very quick reaction about what you said, Guillaume, about the price tag of headsets and the trend that we might see is a very short piece of news. I saw last week that VRChat has announced their intention of doing a mobile app. So that is also, I think, going into the same trend of having a new entry point for them instead of focusing only on VR headsets and desktop. They will also have a new market with the users that can access VR chat through their mobile. So yeah, kind of a, a news in the same direction, I would say.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess they want to catch the Roblox or Minecraft and Fortnite community. So I think this is a good thing for VR chat. Maybe not for the community itself because the average age of the users will go down, I guess, because it's between 12 and 16 maybe, and it will grow in the community. But I guess this is good news for them. Yeah. Seb,
Yeah.
any last word on this?
No, can't wait to have some previews and see what they're doing.
Okay. So, you can continue by presenting your topics.
Okay, sure. So last week I had the opportunity to go in a lab, in French lab, doing some experience on psychological reaction of user, um, trying to teach, like Fabien, you said it last week, to teach to back to psychopath and people like this, and maybe it was you, Guillaume,
Yeah, it
but
was me,
to
I guess.
teach them how to re-interact with other user, and track their behavior to see if there is a change in the way they interact with people. So they do this kind of experience and a lot of other things in that kind of area. And so they bought a new device, which is the Infinadeck VR treadmill, um, which is only directional and goes at 6 mph, so 10 kilometer per hour. And I have a video. I don't know if you share it already, Jan.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
shared.
So here it is. It's a two-directional treadmill that allows you to go in any direction. So it's quite an impressive device on which you put a VR headset. Here it was the HTC Vive with a Wi-Fi system, so you are not linked to a cable. And you have to wear a Vive tracker on your wrist, hip, to allow the systems to recenter you every time you move on the treadmill. I was really keen to test it. I wanted to test that since a long time, and I didn't have the chance. Every time I went to CES, it was fully booked, and I had 2 hours of wait to do one experience like that. So I never had the time to do it. So it was great to test it. Had some um, I thought it will be a really nice experience, but I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, by testing it. I was not able to stand in the middle and just walk and change direction. I had always to handle the bar to put myself to handle the way the treadmill is moving and make sure I'm not falling. I think it might be because they did not set it up correctly. They spent a lot of time before I was able to stand on it, readjusting the parameter. But I did not see any easy way to calibrate the device, which worries me. And the way it works is basically you wear a Vive tracker on your back, on your hip, and it's always trying to center
Wait,
the
will you
Vive
start
tracker on
your
the treadmill.
sound?
So if you fall or if you move and rotate,
Yep, can you
the
hear
Vive tracker
us?
is eccentric from your center. And so every time you try to rotate on yourself, it tries to remove you, to recenter you. And therefore, every time I tried to change direction, I was falling. And it was impossible for me to stay still. So it doesn't, at least the way it was set up, it doesn't help me. It doesn't provide me an experience where I feel like I'm walking in the 3D environment. So I wonder if you already tried this kind of technology or what you think about it. And if you have seen another tech that allows this kind of effect and feedback, force feedback to the user, so they feel that they are working naturally in the environment without moving. Guillaume, or Fab, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I've never tried such a device. I've seen another one where it's a much smaller device, and uh, there is an arm that holds you on the hips. So with no handles, would just like very strongly held by the hips. Um, so yeah, one thing I'm curious about is what is the expected application of these devices? Is it like for I don't know, military training, or is it just like exploration, or maybe medical, like to help um, people with injury recovery or thing like that? Is that like the goal
That,
of the device? Okay.
yes, that's the exact use case. Not even all the use cases are not even with the VR headset. Sometimes it's really just to learn back to rotate and move in an environment, and they put a screen in front of the Infinadeck treadmill.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a huge. I think it's a huge investment, and I'm sure that the tech will improve over the years. Um, but yeah, so they are using it for behavior analysis. Is that correct?
Yeah, for visiting, actually, they do research on um, building and castle that has been destroyed in France during the war, and they try to rebuild it. So it's a way to explore it with a researcher and find out that this is not correctly placed, that the 3D model is not correct. It needs to, because I found some books that describe one room of the castle, for example. So from that text, they try to readjust the 3D model and be together, be multiple person in the same environment to compare and their research and readjust the 3D model together, basically. That's more their use case.
Okay. Cool.
And
Cool.
yeah, like you said, it's a $60K device with only one person that can do it at a time. So yeah, it's quite an investment, yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes at
Okay.
10 kilometers. Yeah, I already said that, 10 kilometers per hour. So you can run, but not run fast on it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And so you tested something else, like a screen that you said was quite impressive.
Yeah, it was a laser projection at 4K at 240 FPS on one screen, and with the help of active glasses, two persons were able to see different movie in front of it. So everyone has 60 frames per eyes, and the frame are placed in between. So one person can see a 3D movie, and one person can see another 3D movie on the same screen. So yeah, it was impressive to see how well that works. You really absolutely don't see the other screen on your on your hand, and they did not link it yet with tracking, but I feel like having a way to have two persons in the same place having their own point of view displayed on the screen will be a nice experience. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. It's great to hear that these technologies are improving, and yeah. I mean, here as well, I see more experiences and applications. I would say, like as soon as the this kind of technology is released, um, maybe for a family you can watch two different movies at the same time if you don't like it. um, but for yeah, for events and for industrial use, when two person can work on the same time in 3D in the same setup just with a screen. Back to what we were saying a bit before, that uh, headsets are still not uh, um, popular, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's another way to have like a common experience in 3D. Um, but yeah, I think I would think that the price tag of this would be quite high as well.
Yeah, but because they had a huge projector. I think you can do it smaller with a smaller projector, or even a TV if a TV under the 240 FPS hertz. Yeah, that's I believe will be feasible. That just need the glasses, the active glasses that can sync at a different time.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
have any
And
thought? Yeah, go
so
ahead.
for now, it's not real time, right? It was like a movie.
It was a movie, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But they had a kind of game where one of the user was using real time a character that was moving in a labyrinth, and the other had like a map, a top view map of where the other user was in the maze, and so he was guiding him outside of the maze. So yeah, they had something in real time, but not tracking the head of the user to adjust their own point of view. That was what, for me, that the next step for this technology.
Okay.
What about you, Guillaume? Do you have any
Well,
thoughts on?
I missed a bit of your because I had the sound problem. But well, my 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 question about the Infinadeck
Yes,
was about the sound. I don't know if you addressed it, but as a motorized platform, is it bothering you when you are on this that the motors are running like hell, or because you have your
I was able to discuss. There was no sound in the headset.
mm,
I was only seeing a 3D environment, and I was able to talk with the person next that was handling the device and ask question about the device easily. So it's not that impressive. There is some sound, definitely. The sound of
mhm.
the wheel moving make a bit of sound, but that's not a huge sound. So it's not that bothering.
And did you try the like the cyber wrist or you know the sliding platform like when you are sliding when your socks on or special
No,
shoes?
never, never.
Okay,
That's really
so
my first test.
you can't compare the two
No,
of
I
them.
can't. No.
Okay.
But really, what bothered me is the fact that I was falling down every time I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to change direction. So it was great when I was going straight, but as soon as I was trying to look at go to another direction to see something else in the VR environment, I was really falling down.
So there could be some latency between your move and
Mm.
the adaptation of the platform. Because
This
I
or,
s-
or,
we s-
or the Vive tracker is
mhm.
eccentric from my body. So every time you move, as it's trying to recenter it,
Oh yeah.
you have a small effect. So you are not rotating on yourself, but on like a circle. And that's, I think, what is the issue. So
Because
I think for every person, there is an adjustment to do.
we saw the military application of these kind of treadmills in 10 years ago, and people were like really running on them. So I guess,
Mm.
uh, but I didn't try this, so I don't know what was the effect of it. But yeah, so we lost Fabien. No, he's back. Okay, great. So as I'm speaking, I'll continue with my topic if you want. So I don't know if you heard, but this was the fashion week in the metaverse this week. Just for you, I didn't heard about this, even if I'm following the VR and innovation news. It happened. Well, we received the news once it was done. So it's a kind of strange. I don't know what kind of communication they did about this. Uh, but well, it was in Decentraland, one kind of more economic metaverse we can found. And as you can see on the screen, there was like a lot of well-known brands. And why I wanted to talk about this is because of the numbers they showed about this event. They they said that they had 200% increase in sales volume in Decentraland during these events. There was 3,500 unique visitors to this metaverse, and there was like 15,000 minutes spent within the Adidas experience. Apparently, they had some kind of games or animation on their different booth, and Adidas nailed it because it was kind of fun. But I have a very hard time finding images or knowing what happened exactly during these. And there are like 10 videos on YouTube on static screen on avatars just jumping around, and it doesn't seem very interesting on my part. But I don't know if you heard about this. Did you see something, and what do you think about this kind of event in the metaverse, or one metaverse for this one? Fabien, if you want to start.
Yeah, I didn't go to this one, but I've tried Decentraland before. So yeah, it's really interesting to see that after the hype of NFTs and Web3, the fashion industries, the and luxury industries are the one who um, seems to benefit the most from the the blockchain side of the metaverse, um, which is maybe makes sense because of the um, uh, luxury type of product that is based on owning something, owning a real nice product in reality, but also owning it in the virtual world. So and yeah, they have a lot of creativity in this. So I'm I'm surprised by the numbers. They are very high indeed, but I'm not like too surprised. I would say like half surprised. Yeah, yeah.
Seb?
Yes, I saw some friends this weekend that are not in development or anything like that, and they bought VR headset. And the feedback I had from them is that they bought the headset, tried all the demo, and now that they have to pay for an app, they don't do it. They only watch a 3D movie online, and that's okay for them to have the device for that. I guess a lot of people are searching for this kind of experience that are free online and can be experienced and have game where they don't have to buy anything. Um, at least first, they can experience something without buying. Um, so that's one point. And yeah, that the number you are announcing are quite high. That's really impressive, and impressive that we don't see a lot of communication around that.
Well, we saw. I don't see if you don't know if you saw on LinkedIn or other social networks that some AI generated image with famous people wearing Balenciaga or a Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah, it was coats and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and it was from this Fashion Week Decentraland. It was a competition for those who would be generating the best fake AI Balenciaga picture.
Okay.
And I found it funny that afterwards you discover what it was about, because you're seeing these images popping right around your social network without really understanding what is going on, and it's afterwards that you understand. So as I said during this presentation of this topic, is that I guess their communication was not that good, because usually the message arrived after the event, and they could have maximized their number of people if this communication was done better. But I don't know, maybe I'm not on the right channels, and I'm not following fashion as I would
Or
like.
another option, if it that it was maybe targeted to certain audience,
Hmm.
so they know it will work with them, and know that the amount of people that join are manageable, so there is no crash, no issue,
Hmm.
and they are sure that the uh, first time they do it, it's a success for at least the person that joined.
Yeah, or
Um,
maybe maintain this luxurious uh, image, like Fabi
yeah,
said. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's a
it could make
private,
sense.
yeah, VIP experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It seems like the NFT community, Web3 community, is also very active on a platform like Discord and Telegram, where they have like dedicated servers for some topics. Like uh, there will be one server for just for an NFT series, and so there are many things like that. Maybe this is where the community is, and maybe not from, I don't know, usual social networks like Instagram um, or LinkedIn. So yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah, the second effect is that by learning that you missed this event, maybe it's pushing you for the next one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Don't know.
very true.
If that's true, as I may communicate more about what has been done last year and next year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, great. So, do you anything to add this to our today's conversation? Fabien,
One
that
topic,
yeah.
yes, about Italy banning
Oh yeah.
the ChatGPT because of the age.
Privacy rules and yeah, user age
Yeah.
that is
Hmm.
not verified as it should be.
Hmm. I don't know if you have any thought about that.
Fabien, do
That's
you
the
have?
only country that banned it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think it's very unlikely that OpenAI will comply just for one country. Maybe I would be surprised, but I think it's unlikely. Um, I I think that the latest weeks on the topic of AI are very interesting. We are seeing a lot of different voices coming up from both sides, and I'm actually a bit concerned, yeah, by the way that two sides are really forming and crystallizing. Like one, we should stop AI, and one, AI is the best thing that ever happened to us. And kind of slowly, these two sides are um, getting away from each other. So yeah, um, I'm a bit concerned. I would more like an unified discussion about that.
Well, yeah, there's this two way of thinking is like the global set of mind right now. Any subject you have two sides fighting each other, and it's very violent. But well, on not the physical part, but yeah, people are very passionate. It's very emotional, and yeah, the situation in Italy is echoing what the open letter of Elon Musk and all these high tech CEOs that are willing to stop the AI learning for 6 months at least. I know that Bill Gates is in the subject as well, and just to make a follow up to Fabien, I heard that yesterday people were suing OpenAI because they found out that some personal information were leaked through ChatGPT. I don't know really what happened, but yeah, if people are starting to sue the AI, maybe it will stop one way or another, or maybe the company will make some a step back to secure this kind of information. But yeah, as you are both saying, this is a troubled time for AI from on the good side and the wrong. And indeed, I hope that there won't be a light side and a dark side of AI when people are going crazy doing like some just because it's cool, just doing anything. Well, what we are frightened about, that meaning that they'll give any kind of data set and making this AI too powerful and that we can't control it at some point.
But yeah, this weekend I was amazed talking with people how far everyone has already tried it and tried to ask some stupid question to ChatGPT, but it was in every mouth this weekend talking with people. Everyone was talking about, hey, look, did you try that? And some people did not know about it, but most of them had already tried it, at least with like I said, stupid question like what is the the billiard number of p
Mm-hmm.
billiard after and then question like that, which doesn't make sense and is easy for the ChatGPT to answer. They did not went to creative question.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
on my side, on my professional part, I'm seeing that people are, well, there was the excitement of the first time they tested the ChatGPT and all their AI, and now as they are trying to transfer it to their professional field and asking real professional question, they can see the limitation of the AI, and they're just saying, yeah, well, it's an advanced Google search with some kind of good insights, but they are what they are saying is that to be very effective, this is the they're lacking. ChatGPT is lacking this reflection part or interpretation that could make it worth it. And I'm seeing on this because I did a conference last week as well, and we talked a lot about ChatGPT, and this is the main mindset here, that people find it's funny at first, and now that we are talking business, they are thinking more like, yeah, this is a useful tool for your drafts or to battling the white page symptom. You can win this first day of work by getting the first information, but then you have to think again. And one thing that I found funny is that I'm working as a teacher as well, and one of them tried to write the entire course through ChatGPT, and he said that after this experience, he found out that he had to think more, to reflect more about his course than he would have by doing it all by himself. And after this, he found out that maybe he spent more time speaking with ChatGPT and trying to improve his course than by doing it all alone. So maybe it's not that efficient, but if you can improve your content, maybe it makes sense. But we talked like 3 or 4 weeks ago about the hype of ChatGPT. Maybe it's going to slow down a bit, unless somebody is doing a higher data set learning and making the AI have some real reflection. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's very likely that they are training GPT-5
Hmm.
because the GPT-4 training ended in September 21, I think, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's very likely that the next one is coming up. In my business circle, I also hear the same thing, that it's useful um, for unblocking things, but there is also quite um, worries about what could be next. Like, what if it get better? What if it's multimodal? Um, yeah, what if people learn how to use it more and more? Um, so there are a lot of concerns around not the actual state, but what
Yeah.
could it be? So yeah,
Yeah, we see the gap between each generation. So yeah, definitely that's rolling.
yeah.
So
I think
we
we can.
will. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
yeah, I was about to say we can talk about this for hours. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
On this not so good note or frightening note, maybe we will end up this stream for this week, and we can schedule a special episode on ChatGPT, which is very, as I said, emotional, passionate, and technological subject.
Mm.
So, well, I thank you both for this conversation, as always, and we'll see us next week. So, thank you. Have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.